Jai Shri Gurudev. A day was there in 1950s and up to 70s. Engineers mean civil engineers alone.
I got into civil, my class strength was only 8, single 8 number. Then everybody started telling my parents that why you are putting him in civil, there is no life, there is no career, you are taking a wrong call.
Historically, over 5,000 years, if you look at it, it is the construction that has sustained and construction that has been telling stories about civilization. We have been there without a degree, without a syllabus. We have been there and we are going to be there.
Civil engineering is very vast. You take like structures to water resource to geotechnical to environmental. Number of opportunities or huge opportunities if you take the research field.
Jai Shri Gurudev. I seek blessings from Shri Dr. Balagangadhanatha Mahaswamiji and also my pranams to Shri Dr. Nirmalanandanatha Mahaswamiji, the Chancellor of Adichunchanagiri University. Today we have a session here. You may not call it as a panel discussion, but a more of discussion on some important parameters that actually should connect civil engineering education to industry. And therefore, we have made it as synergy in civil engineering and interaction between industry and academia. So for this particular event, we have resource persons from various backgrounds. Let me introduce myself first. I am Dr. S.N. Sridhara. I am the Vice Chancellor of Adichunchanagiri University. My background is aerospace engineering and aeronautical engineering, but I have been involved in designing many of the education systems, including curriculum, etc., for variety of courses. And also we have established a sort of outcome-based education in many of the institutions. That will be my short introduction. Sir, can I ask you to introduce yourself? It will be good for me to go through.
Jai Shri Gurudev. So I'm a proud alumni of Adichunchanagiri Shikshana Trust. I studied from BGSIT college. Otherwise, I'm a managing director of the company called Pinnacle Prime Constructions Private Limited. Other than Pinnacle, I have 2-3 more companies in Bangalore. I'm a successful entrepreneur, handling business last 20 years in Bangalore. We are into the large scale of construction activity across Bangalore and Karnataka. Thank you.
This is Mr. Ravi Chandra. He is also the chief architect of our BGSIT college, and he is closely associated with Shikshana Samstha, our Adichunchanagiri Shikshana Samstha. And he is actually giving a lot of good suggestions, and he is a key player, especially in the education background. I have invited him as one of the speakers. Sir, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Jai Gurudev. I am Nagesh. Of course, many of you know me as Concroc. I am basically a concrete technologist, though my background is structural engineering. I am getting rusted in structural engineering, more of a concrete technologist with an experience of corporate. And God has blessed me with working with academic institutions for past 15-20 years. So I know both sides of the coin. I hope I will be making some constructive contributions today.
Thank you very much. One more important thing about sir is basically he was a quiz master, and so can you just explain your nickname in the quiz master as a quiz master?
Okay, that is how I got to be known as Concroc. Con comes from concrete and croc comes from crocodile. I study crocodiles about 7 to 10 years before my engineering. That is how crocodiles are a part of my life. Concrete is my bread and butter. So people who watched me as a quiz master called me Concroc.
Welcome, sir. And both these resource persons are from industry of various, different fields in terms of the construction and fabrication itself. We have the third resource person, so please introduce yourself, Nagesh.
I'm Dr. Lakshmikantan, basically a civil engineer, but then went on to study geotechnical and environmental engineering, PhD from IISc, and I've been in almost all the areas, been in academic for a couple of years, been with the industry, then moved on to research, that is CSIR. So, now recently I've moved on to an institute which is completely a data science and AI institute. being a civil engineer and from a transition, I mean, like of this sort, I think I can contribute here. I thank Dr. Sridhara and who has invited me. Thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Lakshmikant. Basically, we are also touching upon issues, something like how much of AI we should be, making our civil engineers to learn, etc., and so on. But before we start anything, let us understand the situation at present in India. What is the total number of civil engineers or percentage of civil engineers coming out as a graduates at UG level, that is BTech or BE in civil engineering, compared to overall output? A day was there in 1950s and up to 70s, engineers means civil engineers alone. In fact, my father was a civil engineer, and at that time, civil engineers had a very good reputation as well in the society also. And gradually, it is actually going slightly in terms of admission. It is taking a back seat. Now, I just would like to ask all the three resource persons here, what is their way of thinking, like why the admission for civil engineering is coming down? But the statistics says only about 7 to 10% of the total civil engineers who are graduated are actually from civil engineering. The remaining is actually completely going from other branches. So, Mr. Ravi Chandra sir, can you just put your thought why you think that the admission for civil engineering is going down?
See, I wanted to take my own life story for this. When I really wanted to get into the engineering college, I was not really that brainy, so I have to get into civil. When without having any chance and thinking that third sem anyways I can go for a change of branch, I just got into civil in SGSIT. When I got into civil, my class strength was only 8, single 8 number. Though the intake was 60, but only 8 was there. Then everybody started telling my parents that why you are putting him in civil, there is no life, there is no career. So you are taking a wrong call. So somehow I have to manage to get through my first year, and then I went to Swamiji. That time Puja Swamiji was there in SGSIT, Chikballapur branch rather, and he used to teach me also one subject. So then I went with my father to ask for a change of branch. Swamiji said, no, for him, civil suits, please ask him to study continuous civil. So then I fought for it. I really did lot of hangama to take a change of branch, but somehow Swamiji was very adamant that he did not give. He said, if you don't get the job, you get me back to Mutt, I'll give the job. So that is one call. See, that time only 8 was the number in the class. And we have not allotted a classroom also, thinking that why 8 people should get a classroom. So better to sit in one lab somewhere, 8 chairs, and that's how we studied. That was a change. See, the circle always rotates. Any industry, be it a pharma, be it any other industry, there is always a cycle. One cycle goes down and cycle comes up. If talk about recession, even computer science has got a lot of recession. When the recession comes, people will never get into computer science. They'll go back to automobile, go back to any other industry. Today, whatever it is on the peak, the downfall will always come with the civil. This is what it is happening. Otherwise, civil engineering today, even I have a lot of recruitment happening in my company. I have a minimum 40 to 50 engineers is my shortage today. In spite of that, I am not getting any good civil engineers. Every day the interviews goes on there. That's a real challenge of the industry. One side, lot many people are not getting jobs. Other side, lot many employers not getting a good civil engineers. We need to bridge this gap now.
Yeah, I just take the clue from you, sir. You said that because you thought that your IQ level is low or your marks may be low, you just got into civil engineering because that was option available. Most of the other people also think so. But actually what happens is the marks alone in your eligibility test or eligibility like first PUC, second PUC or SSLC may be low, but as soon as you get into a professional course like engineering, immediately the other side of the mind will open up and you will grow like anything. I would like to mention that Mr. Ravi Chandran got first rank gold medal in MTech also later. So who thought that his IQ's level is low? I mean, by the society, they thought that he is not intelligent. See how much. And today he's a very he's a proud owner of a company which actually has given employability for more than 100 civil engineers or so. 200. Okay, 200. So this is how actually we grow ourselves. Now to Nagesh sir, what is your opinion on civil engineering admission?
Sir, first of all, I would agree that any job has got a cyclic demand. So something that goes up will come down and then come back. Historically, over 5,000 years, if you look at it, It is the construction that has sustained and construction that has been telling stories about civilization. We have been there without a degree, without a syllabus, we have been there, and we are going to be there. The important thing that I look at is the major visible job opportunities for a common man comes from government policies. Whenever there is a policy change, there is a sudden surge of demand by the PWD engineers. And I know how the recruitment happens there, because of which not everybody out there will get a government job. At that stage, historically it is seen that when there is a surge, all colleges increase the number of civil engineering seats, teaching the same subject that has been taught over 35-40 years. And then when these people are coming out of the college, 4 years later, there is a policy change in the government, so the demand has come down. Now we are adding to this thing. And I totally agree with him telling that I have a demand. There is a demand for civil engineers, but there is a big necessity that we impart the right kind of skills that is required by the engineers. Then we will not be having this question.
Thank you very much, sir. And Master, for many of the quizzes, probably these types of questions were there or not, I am not very sure, maybe more of nature.
No, it is totally civil engineering. Wow. Proud to say that none of the IITs have won my quiz.
Wow, so nice, good. Just to add up that, our ISRO, the ISRO chairman once announced, after the successful launch of so many, the launching vehicles, etc., most of the employees in ISRO are from local engineering colleges rather than IITs and IASC. That was the thing. So I think it actually matters a lot for people like us who come from, maybe most of us came from the village background and then, raised ourselves, especially, using up the opportunities and then putting up all the efforts. Now to Dr. Lakshmikant, you are from research background and you have, almost reached the pinnacle in terms of, research in civil engineering and all. So what is your suggestion for the public, especially for the parents, that why they should actually motivate their children to get into civil engineering?
It's a very nice question, sir, actually. Many people don't actually ask such kind of questions. So thing is, like, if you see from a research point of view, after you go up to a level, you see that like my colleague, like Ravi Chandra said, civil engineering is very vast. You take starting from structures to water resource to geotechnical to environmental. It's a very vast thing. Other engineering branches, I mean, no offense to other engineering branches, they have started encroaching into, civil engineering, like say for example, environment or even hydraulics and all those things. There is a huge, number of opportunities or huge opportunities if you take the research field, particularly in the, civil engineering thing. There is a huge market for, or huge demand for researchers or scientists in civil engineering thing. Only thing is, like, there is a general perception that if you take civil engineering, only building construction is there. So that somewhere or the other, that updation of information should be like propagated to the public, that it's not just building. There are other things into it, which is like having enormous amount of opportunities. And even if you see the packages and all, it's like skyrocketing packages.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll take it further.
I just add one more point here. See, today that what country is going. I mean, like before Narendra Modi ji, and now, we are into the number 3, number 4 position in terms of GDP, and then we are named as a developing country, right? And every day, now and then, we get to hear that we'll become a developed nation by 2047. This is what we get to hear, and we are witnessing also what's happening. Imagine any country can develop without a construction. Because without construction, GDP, 19% of the construction contributes to the overall GDP of our country. 19%, it is not a small number. We are in the trillions of GDP in terms of money, and there 19% is a vast number. Today you look at highways, look at metros, look at all the logistical airports, anything, be it anything, development of the company, the contribution of the civil engineering, contribution of the construction is immense. Thinking at that, looking at that, how can anybody say that there is no scope for civil engineering? Because there is no life, there is no growth of any country without construction. To manage construction, civil engineers has to be there.
Good, sir.
Sir,
Actually,
very important statistics. At least in India, next to agriculture, it is the civil engineering or the construction industry at 18.8 or something is the GDP contribution. It is the second largest contributor for the GDP of this country.
And unfortunately, we are not able to reach the parents.
We are
and
not
public.
recognized, sir. That is the that is one thing that we should
The public think that, yes, sir.
Sorry, I'll just add one point, sir. Just to, like you mentioned research, like our colleagues were mentioning. So I was called in by ISRO for designing the, water recirculation system for the Gaganyaan mission, manned mission. So if you see that, the research for civil engineering or the level of that is at that level. Only thing is you have to develop like certain skills or update yourself to certain level so that, it is there. So I was like part of the, team, and I was asked in to design that. So, just a info.
Fantastic, sir. This actually shows up that, from the ground up to the space, everywhere this knowledge and skills actually will be of some help.